Hi, and welcome to Family Friendly Schools Ed Coaching. Many of us have had coaches growing up. If you played football, some of the bigger guys may have played football at some particular point in time, and you had a coach, and the coach had a playbook, and everything you learned how to do came out of that playbook. Some of us had softball coaches or basketball coaches, or my kids grew up playing soccer and all kinds of different games and sports, and they all had all kinds of coaches. Some of us at our schools nowadays have a science coach or a math coach. There's somebody there with expertise and a curriculum and a playbook to tell us how to do these particular topics. You may even have your own personal trainer now, or a life coach, that gives you ideas about how to do things and where to go. Ed coaching is a little bit different than that, and that's why I wanted to spend just a little time with you today talking about what that looks like. Because from our perspective as ed coaches, we really believe that you have the answers. You know what's best for you and your community, your parents, your school, your kids. You're better at that than we might be. We're experts in our field. We know what we're doing. On the other hand, if we tell you what to do, then there's always some resistance or but that doesn't work in our school. And I've heard that before. So that's why we've kind of switched our game plan here. Let me give you a good example. I had a school that I was working with in New York, I believe, and they had some ideas about what they wanted to do in their community to help generate more involvement from parents and school people together. And they weren't quite sure what they wanted to do, but they thought about it and played with it a little bit. And as a coach, I would ask them, what do you think would work best? What is your community like? What are they willing to come out for? Well, they already knew that they weren't willing to come out for too many of the math nights that they did. They did a few of those. But some of the stuff that they were doing, they just weren't generating the kind of participation that they wanted. And so during a meeting in a coaching session, they said, you know what would really work is if we took, and they were a K through 3 school, I believe, if we took a bus or a van or something like that and put books in it and went out to the local parks, because that's where the parents go. Parents go to the park, they could bring their kids, they could listen to a story, and they could check out books. Well, the more they thought about it, the better the idea became. And they started looking around, and sure enough, somebody had a van that they weren't using anymore. They were happy to donate it to the school. They got it all set up. They renovated it inside, and they started putting books in it. And the teachers decided that during the summer, they would take a week and they would volunteer to actually go out and read books in the park to kids. Everybody started showing up. It was a very, very unique idea, but the involvement from the community was absolutely amazing. That was their idea. As a regular coach, I probably would not have come up with that out of my playbook, but that worked for them. So what I want to give you is the opportunity as a coach to think about what works for you, what you know will fit in your community, with your families, with your school people. How do they work together best? That's what we do as ed coaches. Now, we're not going to let you get in any trouble, because at least 2 of my coaches that I work with have worked at state departments as monitors. So they're clear about what the law says and what you can do and what you can't do. So they're not going to lead you down a path that says, oh, we want to do it this way, and you go, oh, that's against the law. We can't do that. We don't do that. But what we do is look at your ideas, because as I said before, intuitively you often know what will work best in your community. You've been there, you know who the people are, you know how it works, and you know what people will respond to. In one community, they may respond to bake sales. In another community, they're not interested in that at all. They're interested in something else, carnivals. They're interested in something that will work for them. And it's at a time that will work for them. And it is fully what you know it to be. So that's our job. As an ed coach, we meet with you Usually what happens, just to give you an idea, is that you'll take a workshop of ours, whether it's online or in person. You don't even have to do that, but it's usually a good idea to have some idea where you want to go. Then as a coach, we will talk to you over the phone about once a month for 20 to 30 minutes, longer if you need it, shorter if you've already got things moving. And our basic plan is to ask you questions. How you doing? Where do you want to go? Who's responsible for that? What's your timeline? And then we come back in another month or so and say, how you doing with that project? Have you changed it? What did you do? How did you modify it? We'll help you keep on track with what you want to do. And of course, at some point, you're going to hit an obstacle, whatever that obstacle might be. People in the community, somebody on your staff, somehow there's an obstacle. Oh, we don't have the money. Then we look at it and go, okay, how do you overcome the obstacle? The school I mentioned didn't have a van or a bus or anything like that to use, but they went out and started looking, and sure enough, they found it. So we know that the obstacles exist, but we also coach you, help you to get through the obstacles as well. That's usually where the coaches come in to play more than anything else, anywhere else. It's our job to help you look through the possibilities. You know the possibilities exist, and so does your coach. We believe that the possibilities are there, and they are endless. So we just have to find the right matches. And that's what we do as a coach to help you get where you want to go. I will repeat that again. We want to help you get where you want to go. So that at the end of the day, we're all standing out here going, wow, that was a real success. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you because I know that having a coach makes a huge difference. I have one, and what a difference that has made. So let me help you get where you want to go. Thank you for listening.